We need to assess the integrity of the school. We're going to look at something, another cool acronym to come up in the world is CPTED, CPTED, Crime Prevention Through Environmental Design. Okay, we're talking about cut the hedges back. Are your shades too dark? Are your shades too light? Does the place need more lighting? Does it need cameras? Do we need to open the doors or have the doors open inward or outward? If they open outward, there needs to be a way to barricade that door from the inside in case you need the shelter in place. Okay, these are things that we need to take into consideration every time we walk into a business or our own building. Because I hate to rear this ugly L word, but that whole liability thing comes in. When that liability thing comes in and there are people ready to pounce civilly for people failing to do things that could keep them protected. I mean, they don't put a water sign out on the floor and you slip them. Heck, they got hot coffee all over McDonald's cups now. Why? Because somebody spilled coffee on their lap and got $1 million. Should have done that. All right, then we're going to go avoid. Avoid again. Guys, if you know where the threat is, flee the opposite way. If at all possible, get out. Aurora, Colorado. You guys know what happened there, right? Movie theater. 50 people. And had bombs in there that didn't go off, just smoke bombs. They did go off. Created a mass panic in there. They couldn't see where they were going. But everybody pretty much knows you walk in a movie theater, there's that big red exit sign there down by somewhere by the theater screen, right? And if the threat's from down there, then we're going to egress out the back. Okay, do what you have to, but we don't want to trample either. And that's what happens in panic and confusion. So if you have a plan, let me tell you, and again, I'm conditioned to do this. I'm trained to do this. I've trained my family to do this, as goofy as it sounds. Okay, my wife is a teacher. So I try and keep her up to speed because they don't let teachers be on. I'd prefer that she carry a gun. I trust her more with a gun than some of the other people I see carrying guns. So what I say is, I never sit with my back to a door at a business, ever, ever. My kids know that I'm always armed, and different guns for different times, but I'm always armed. It's usually concealed, okay? And I never sit with my back to a door, and they know. They always leave that seat for me whenever I go to a restaurant. And if you find any police officer off duty sitting with his back to the door, anybody that knows one can probably tell you that they're probably not going to sit with their back to the door. Sit near the aisle. Be the first one out if you can. Let your family be the first ones out. I always sit on the aisle at a movie if I can get there early enough. I sit with my aisle this way. I can stop and block traffic and let my family out and then follow. Okay? Or if I have to address a threat, I know my family is gone. And that's what our primary goal is, right? Saving lives. So little things like that, again, training, conditioning, all stuff that you would get in a 2-day course. We'd bring in, like I said, the role players, practical applications, Sims guns, to where if you got hit, you sting and you know that you messed something up. Or you just weren't aware. And it's not your fault. It's nobody's fault. We're just not conditioned to really react other than, oh crap, that was loud and I'm getting out. And there's nothing wrong with that. Just make sure that you're running away from a threat and not running into another threat who is lying in wait. That's scary when you got a double. All right, so deny. Again, make a plan, figure out how are we going to barricade this door. The only way we can effectively barricade this door with it opening out is to stand these tables on end and get them against that door and keep stacking so they have to work their way through. That's the only way it's going to happen. But the bad part of that is that they know somebody's in here because we have barricaded the door. So they're going to try and get in. So while you're holding this barricade, you better be finding another way out, unless you plan to do that. So, and like I said, there's been a number of times when shooters have been thwarted. These plans have been taken out just by doing this, defending. Say, bump it, we're going down fighting. Okay? All right. So, talk about some contingencies. Real quick. Family response. After this, everybody, I mean, it's hitting the media. You know the helicopter's going to be up there, so it's going to be broadcast everywhere. Families as, oh my gosh, my family member was at Webster University today for an active shooter presentation, and they had an active shooter. So where do you think they're all going to congregate? So now I got to deal with all of that outside, and so do you. And we need to keep the people here because the police still need to manage the scene. So we have to manage that chaos along with this chaos. So we need to make a plan for that. Then we move on to accountability. There's always that accountability. And then long term, I don't care if you've been through it or not, if you've been to or seen anything like this, you are going to suffer mental and emotional impact, and are you ever going to be able to live with a sense of normalcy? Anybody ever been victimized by a crime, whether it be a burglary or a robbery? Feel violated, don't you? Everything kind of waking up in the middle of the night looking out to see your car, right? Was your car broken into? Was it your car that was broken into or your home?
No,